Hey, do you ever get that feeling, that kind of flashback, thinking about weekend trips to the mall back in the day, the food courts, maybe
Yeah.
first dates, that whole scene?
Oh, absolutely. It's such a shared memory for so many people, isn't it? And that's really what we're diving into today, that golden era of shopping malls, why they meant so much more than just, stores.
Exactly. The title we're looking at, From Food Courts to First Kisses, Reliving the Golden Era of Shopping Malls, really nails it.
It does. We've been looking into what made that time feel so special, and it seems clear these huge buildings became real social spots, like sanctuaries almost.
Yeah, especially for teenagers, right? Those formative years. We really want to unpack why these places became such teenage meccas.
Right. I mean, think about it. For a lot of young people, it was maybe the first taste of independence, a place to hang out with friends, away from family, maybe test out who you were, and yeah, navigate those awkward first romantic steps.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. You really can't talk about the modern mall without talking about Victor Gruen, the father of the mall.
Hmm.
What was his big idea initially? Was it just about shopping?
Well, what's really fascinating is that Gruen wasn't just thinking commercially, not entirely. He was actually inspired by European
Oh,
piazzas.
like the public squares in Italy or something.
Exactly. Those central spots designed for people to gather, interact. He kind of envisioned the mall like that, a climate controlled space that would build community.
And that vision really came to life with Southdale Center, right? Edina, Minnesota, 1956. That was the first fully enclosed climate-controlled one.
That's the one. Yeah.
It's kind of wild to think how revolutionary that must have felt then. We just take it for granted now.
It really was a total game changer. Southdale basically set the blueprint for, well, decades of malls that followed. And that enclosed design, that was key. It created this whole self-contained world.
Kept people inside longer.
Right. Encouraged them to hang out, socialize, and yeah, eventually browse and shop too.
And hang out. We did. I mean,
Yeah.
for tons of teenagers, the mall was the place, the absolute center of the universe. It wasn't just about buying the latest jeans or whatever was it.
No, not at all.
It was meeting friends, grabbing that classic greasy food court slice,
Yeah.
maybe trying to get the courage to talk to someone near the fountain.
Totally. And if you think about like teen development, the mall offered this really important space. You had your own money, maybe from babysitting or a paper route.
Right, that first bit of cash.
Exactly. So you had some agency there. It was a place to, see and be seen, try on different personas maybe, and take those first steps in, like relationships.
It really was central. And then innovators like James Rouse came along and pushed it even further, the festival marketplace idea.
Yeah, Rouse shifted things again. He wasn't just about adding an arcade or a movie theater. His focus was more on curating the experience, mixing in unique local shops alongside the chains,
Okay.
and really thinking about how people move through the space, making it feel like you were exploring, discovering things.
So less uniform.
Kinda, yeah. Boston's Fennel Hall Marketplace is a really good example of that approach. It felt different.
So it became less just a place to buy things and more
Mm-hmm.
a destination, an experience.
Precisely.
And you definitely saw that reflected in pop culture. Movies like uh, Fast Times at Ridgemont High
Oh, yeah.
or Clueless. The mall wasn't just scenery in those. It felt like another character.
That's a great way to put it. Those films cemented the mall's image in everyone's mind. They showed it as this key part of being a teenager, figuring things out.
Defining yourself.
Yeah, or you learned what was cool, tried out different looks, kind of figured out who you wanted to be. It just visualized that whole stage of life.
And it wasn't always just the usual department stores and chain clothing places, right?
Yeah.
Some malls got really ambitious. Didn't some have like indoor amusement parks, ice rinks? I even heard zoos.
They did. It shows how the idea of what a mall could be just kept expanding. I mean, look at the West Edmonton Mall up in Canada. That was the peak, maybe?
What do they have?
Oh, man. A huge indoor water park, a full-size replica of Columbus's Santa Maria ship,
Seriously. A ship.
a ship, and a hotel, everything. It was basically a mini city, all indoors.
Wow. That's almost hard to picture now.
Mm,
It blurred the line between shopping center and like theme park resort.
completely.
Okay, so let's pull back a bit. Thinking about this whole golden age.
Mhm.
What are the big takeaways? What sticks out?
Well, one thing maybe connecting it to today is how those malls represent a kind of community connection, a feeling that maybe some people feel is missing a bit now.
You mean compared to just clicking buy online?
Yeah. I mean, online shopping is obviously super convenient. We all do it. But it just doesn't have that same physical social interaction built in, that bumping into people, the shared space.
That really hits home. Scrolling a website is efficient, sure, but you don't get those random encounters or just discovering something unexpected side by side with other people. It feels more isolated, transactional.
Transactional is a good word. And another thing, thinking about the social side, malls were often surprisingly democratic spaces.
How so?
Well, you'd get people from all different walks of life, different backgrounds, all converging in the same place.
Right. Everyone needed socks or wanted a pretzel.
Exactly. So, in a way, they acted as these like melting pots, a common ground where different cultures and ideas could just exist together, mix a little.
Hmm. That's a really interesting point. It feels a little sad almost thinking about that now, seeing so many of those places struggling or gone. But okay, for listeners feeling that nostalgia, that mall ache,
Well,
are there ways to kind of reconnect with that vibe?
yeah, it's interesting. Even though things have changed, you definitely can. Like just rewatching some of those classic mall movies we mentioned.
Oh yeah, Fast Times, Clueless, maybe Mall Rats.
Sure. It's amazing how quickly the whole atmosphere, the look, the sound comes back. It really captures the era's feel.
Totally. I can practically hear the cheesy synth pop now. What else?
Well, for something more active, you could host a retro mall-themed party,
Uh-huh. That sounds amazing.
right? Get the music right, maybe some classic food court snacks, Sbarro pizza, Orange Julius.
Cinnabon.
Yes. And maybe encourage people to dig out some 80s or 90s fashion fails or
Ooh.
triumphs.
Oh, that could be dangerous but fun.
Hmm.
What about visiting an actual mall? Are there still places that have that old feel?
There are actually. Many have been heavily renovated or, closed down, but some surviving ones still have that classic layout, maybe some original fixtures or stores. Walking through one can be like stepping into a time capsule almost. It's a real nostalgia trip.
And I like this next idea too. It's simple but kind of powerful. Just sharing your own mall stories with friends, family,
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone seems to have one. A funny one, an embarrassing one, a first date story.
a memory tied to a specific store or place within the mall.
Exactly. Just talking about them, reminiscing together is a
Mhm.
great way to bring that past back to life. And for the really dedicated, you could even try making a DIY map of your old favorite mall from memory.
Oh, wow, like draw it out.
Yeah. Or use old photos if you have them. It's a
Yeah.
really unique way to like dig into those memories.
That's cool, like personal archaeology or your teenage years.
Kinda, yeah. And believe it or not, there are even online groups now dedicated to specific old malls. People share photos, memories, virtual tours. Another way to dive back in.
Huh. The internet keeping mall nostalgia alive.
Yeah,
There's some irony there.
it really is.
So, wrapping up this deep dive,
Hmm.
it's pretty clear these shopping malls were way more than just places to spend money. They were like these essential hubs, social interaction, cultural moments.
Hmm.
They really left a mark.
Absolutely. And it makes you wonder, with everything moving so much online now towards digital spaces,
Mm.
what are the modern equivalents? Where do people, especially young people, have those kinds of shared public social experiences today?
That's a huge question.
And maybe even more, do these new spaces create the same kind of lasting memories that the mall did for so many?
Wow. Yeah, that's definitely something to chew on. Well, hopefully this whole exploration into the mall era has maybe given everyone listening a new way to think about a really familiar and pretty important part of our shared past.